I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're taking a tender, magical journey through grief, healing, and imagination with a terrific author. Her name is Sonia Lipford, and she has penned a wonderful book. It is called Bubblegum Journey. Inspired by the memory of her beloved grandson, Darius, this heartfelt book offers a gentle, uplifting look at what life might be like on the other side. Through vibrant storytelling and a message of eternal love, Sonia helps young readers and families cope with loss while celebrating the everlasting connection we share with those we've lost. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. And be sure to download the Spotlight Network TV app, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Sonia, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
I'm glad to be here.
Let's start out by talking about your wonderful grandson, Darius, and how he helped shape this story.
Well, he helped shape the story because, he was 2 when he passed away. It was a real bad car accident. The last time I seen him, he was chewing bubble gum. So I had a poetry book that I wrote. It's called A Journey. So when he passed away, I took it and changed the words around and called it a bubblegum journey. Because the last time I saw him, like I said, he was chewing bubble gum and running through the house. That's the last time I saw him. And so I remember my son was looking for his bubble gum. He's like, "Mom, you see my bubble gum?" And when we looked, bubble gum was all stuck on the floor, on the wall, because he had left the house with my other son, because it was his son. And so I was like, "It's all on the floor." He done chewed it up and stuck it all on the floor.
That's
So,
funny.
and when he passed away, the gum was still stuck on the floor. His fingerprint was still on my mirror because I had a long mirror in my room. He used to love to push on it and play on it. So that was left on the mirror, and the bubble gum was. So when I found out he passed away, when we was getting ready to have a funeral, they wanted me to write some. So I took it and changed the words around from the other poetry book that I wrote and call it the Bubblegum Journey. So it's like a long journey of him. They trying to lead him to heaven by showing him bubblegum. And I think the first page you would see the accident. Then the second page, I think you would see the other grandma sitting on a cloud with bubblegum. So they was trying to lead him to heaven so he won't get lost, so he can get to heaven. Yeah.
That's a sweet story, very sweet story.
Thank you.
It must be tough on some levels to approach a topic that's very sensitive like loss, but do it in a way that's comforting to children. So how did you do that?
I don't know. It came to mind. I believe in a higher power. It just came to mind to show people life is different on the other side for children because they
Right.
have no sins. They children. They have no enemies. They children. So I just looked at it that way to show parents when you lose someone, it's a whole different game on the other side of the world for children.
Yeah.
So that's why when you read the book, you see the kids at the gate and they all playing patty cake and eating cake. Because that's what I put in there. So people can see where it's different, versus us being sinful and all that. We still have to pay for those. But
Right.
a kid don't. A kid don't.
Exactly.
He has no. They play, and
Yeah.
that's just it. And things happen.
Yeah.
So it just happened to him where I had to soothe my soul in a certain way because when he died, it was the people didn't care. So I had to show people how to heal from the inside out yourself
Yeah.
instead of getting mad at the person who did it or whatever happened. I had to heal from the inside. I don't even think I cried. I think I came up with the poetry and
Mm.
um and stuff for the funeral and stuff, and they put it in the obituary and everything. So
Yeah.
I wanted everybody to feel that it's different because we cry a lot. Just like a rose that died in winter comes back in the summer. You
Right.
know, it's the
Right.
same thing with souls.
Yeah.
That the vessel dies, but the soul moves on. So
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to look at it. And having his other grandmother there is comforting too, because he's not there all alone either, which is nice,
Right,
right? So that
right.
made a
So
beautiful thought. Yeah,
that's what I
amazing.
wanted the people to feel like.
Yeah,
I don't. Sometimes we act out on anger, we make mistakes, and we mad at everybody. So I try to show it a different way. You
yeah.
know, that's how
Well,
I have to.
yeah, well, you did a great job with it. What age group do you think Bubblegum Journey is best suited for?
It's for okay, just kids who got cancer at 2 years old and up.
Yeah,
Because you got kids that have cancer, you got
yeah,
kids who born with AIDS, you got kids that you know accidents just happen. You
yeah,
know, and so when parents buy this book, I would like for them to see, okay, everybody goes through this.
right.
We all want, but as we grow, we want to die before our children, but sometimes
Sure.
it's not like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not like that. So I want people to see it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry until you can get it over with. It's
Right.
okay to say, I'm mad, but you don't have to go out and attack somebody. It's okay to feel like that because we all gonna go through it regardless if we want to or not. Death is on everybody who lives long enough. You're gonna see it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is true. But if you
Yeah,
embrace death as another life, another existence like you do, it's not nearly
yeah,
as painful because it's not permanent. We have been given the promise of eternal life, of course, which is what we
that's
just
right.
celebrated the past weekend, right? Easter Sunday.
Yeah,
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 without a doubt.
yeah.
How did writing this book help you personally process your grief over losing Darius?
It really helped me process by not crying. I thought of the how to draw the picture, and even when I drew the pictures, some of the pictures didn't look right. So I had like the company I went through. I had a free artist, so he asked me what did I wanted.
Hmm.
And I told him how I wanted it. I wanted the sun to change into a bubble gum,
Hmm.
anything that did with bubble gum for him.
Right.
And it made me felt better. And I asked the funniest thing is when I asked them who the artist was, they told me his name was Gabriel.
Oh, that's
And
sweet.
I was
Like the
like,
angel, like the archangel. Yeah.
and I was just like, okay, well, we're
Yeah.
gonna get him to finish it up a little bit for me, touch it up, paint it up, whatever
Yeah.
they do. And when they sent it back to me, it was exactly how I wanted it.
Wonderful.
I wanted people to see it. I want people to understand it. I don't want to do something to make people hurt. I wanted to
Right.
do it to make people understand, not look at it and say, look at what she did. She wrote this book and it's just, I just want them to say, hey, okay, she sees life different because I
Right.
do. And I want other people to accept death gonna come regardless if you want it to come or not.
Right.
It has no, when God sent them out, it doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
don't have, it ain't no race thing. It's nothing. It gonna be like it ain't like the race. It's not like the Grand Reaper gonna say, God, you sent me to a white man's house, and God gonna be like, he gonna be like, well, and that's what I sent you to do.
Yeah,
It doesn't
exactly.
matter what shade or color, whatever you are, it's coming.
That's what they
You
say.
know?
God don't call you if he don't want you, right?
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, without
Yeah.
a doubt. You've written other children's books as well, right? Tell us a little bit about your writing career.
Okay. The funniest thing, let me tell you, when I was in school, my dad was military.
Hmm.
Okay. And we went from school to school, and I was known as the slow learner, but I wasn't never a slow learner. I was always thinking about other stuff.
Right.
See, and people don't understand that when you got a class full of 20 kids or 10, each kid learns different. And
Sure.
I was one of them.
Hmm.
And they were like, your daughter needs to be in special class. No, I don't. People, my mind was on other things. And I
Right.
used to take a test and I used to write on the back of my test poetry all the time. And I didn't know I would become an author. And
Right.
the teacher used to say, why do you do this? And I'd be like, I don't know. I just didn't know. I was just doing it. And
Right.
so I got a book. The first book was called Witches, Brooms in My Room.
Hmm.
It's a number book. It's about a little girl who they moved in a house full of witches, but the witches didn't live there no more. So these brooms kept appearing in the room. And so broom number one, broom number two next to a shoe, broom number three next to a tree,
Mhm.
anything like that. And she finally came to her sense because she went and told her mama, "Hey, I found these witches' brooms in my room." And the mama said, "Yeah, I know your grandmother was a witch. The only way you can get rid of these brooms, you have to count backwards." So when she counted backwards, down from 10 to 1 or whatever, the brooms disappear.
Mm.
And that's how that ends.
Yep.
And then teaching my colors is about shapes. It's about numbers. It's about this boy taking his sister around, teaching her shapes and colors.
Mm.
So he's teaching her a color, and at the end of the book, she tells him, "My favorite color is blue because I love you," and that's how
Ah.
that book ends. And then Molly and the Purple String is imagination.
Mhm.
And what happened with Molly was bored. Molly wanted to go out. She went to the trash can. She couldn't find nothing. So her and a friend went to the park. They go to the park. And then on their way back, they find a purple string about this big.
Mhm.
But they used their imagination. So her friend was like, "What you gonna do with that purple string?" And then all of a sudden it gets long. Next
Wow.
minute they just roping with it. Next time, Molly put it in her hair and wear it as a bow, put it in her shoe, like a
Yeah.
shoestring. At the end of the day, whatever, she takes the string and put it on the edge of her bunk bed and
Mhm.
went to bed. And that was about imagination and then the bubblegum journey. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, you've got quite an imagination. All of your
Yeah.
books sound terrific. The book we've been focusing on today is called Bubblegum Journey. It is a beautiful and compassionate story that brings comfort, imagination, and healing to the hearts of young readers and their families. Sonia, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I appreciate your time, your insight, and your wisdom. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time until next time on Spotlight.